Rocky, continue. It says Dr. Kanatanjan Alabikov returned to Moscow with the Soviet delegation. Just a few days later, on December 25th, 1991, President Mikhail Gorbachev resigned. On New Year's Eve, the red flag of the Soviet Union with its iconic hammer and sickle beneath a gold star was taken down from the flagpole at the Kremlin. The tricolored flag of the newly formed Russian Federation was raised in its place. The Soviet Union ceased to exist. See, I didn't even know that though. 2 weeks later, Dr. Alabikov handed the director of Preparat General Yuri Kalinin his resignation papers in Moscow. Then, using the intermediary, Alabikov reached out to Lisa Bronson to let her know that he wanted to defect, so he became a traitor to the United States. This was a military intelligence coup for the Pentagon. For 2 years now, all the intelligence on biopreparat, including the revelation that it existed in the first place, had come from a single source, a former senior level Soviet scientist named Vladimir Pasechnik, now in British custody. The Pentagon wanted its own high-level defector. Soon they would have Dr. Kanajanjan Alabikov. As for Vladimir Pasechnik, his defection had come out of the blue. In October 1989, Pasechnik had been sent to France on an official business trip to purchase laboratory equipment. Instead, he called the British embassy from a phone booth and said he was a Soviet germ warfare scientist who wanted to defect to England. British Secret Intelligence Services agents picked him up in a car, flew him to England, and took him to a safe house in the countryside. The handler assigned to Pasechnik was a senior biological warfare specialist on Britain Defense Intelligence Staff named Christopher Davis. Pasechnik stunned Davis with a legion of extraordinary facts. The 51-year-old Pasechnik had worked under Dr. Alabikov in biopreparat facility in Leningrad called the Institute of Ultra Pure Biological Preparations. As a senior scientist at Ultra Pure, Pasechnik had made such significant contributions that he was given the honorary military title of general. At biopreparat, scientists weaponized classic pathogens like anthrax, tularemia, and botulinum toxin, standard operating procedure in a bioweapons program. But at Ultra Pure, scientists had been working to genetically modify pathogens so they were resistant to vaccines and antibiotics. So that's just, seeing how they playing science. What I mean? They playing Dr. Frankenstein, Mr. Hyde. Bear with me for a second. So basically, showing you how, like I said, they're able to manipulate, splice. What you think with all this super soldier and all that? I mean, like the Lord opened up their mind to do certain things. It tells you in the book of what's that, Ezekiel, that they're wiser than Daniel, and Daniel was a very wise man. This is Luke 16 and 18, Salakia, 16 and 8. And the Lord commanded the unjust steward, because he had done wisely, for the children of the world in their generation wiser than the children of light. And the children of that generation, of the children of the world, are the Edomites. The children of light are, Yasharallah, princes of power, At the end of the day, that's what children of light, because, the light is Yahweh Shai, our big brother. Continuing though, it says, Salakia, says, the Soviets called their laboratory engineered version of history's most prolific killer super plague. In the 13th century, the bubonic plague killed off roughly every third man, woman, and child in Europe. but it lost its potency in the 20th century. But yet and still, though, the spirit, even though we reading this now, you know, in California, you got actually a strand of the bubonic plague out there. So, along with this corona and other, I forgot the rum brother. I know the brother from Arkansas. I think Dimash. He goes into all the different plagues that's out right now because you got a whole bunch of viruses going on. I mean, like this is, and people don't want to believe. You know what I mean? You got the swarm of locusts that's eating up all kind of vegetation within seconds, like a swarm of locusts to biblical proportions. You got all these earthquakes. You know, you got all these pesticides and plagues. You got people dying off of a fucking cold, man. Because that's all the coronavirus is when you really get into it. You know, the elder went into, he said all it is SARS. You know. But you know how Esau is. Just like they don't want to call it corona. They calling it COVID-19. You know, it's the same fucking shit. But they play with your, man, that's motherfucker the devil, man. Like I said, if you ever, like maybe I'll put that in the post-production and whatnot as far as that video I was watching that the brother made about the 5G, and when he just go into how this motherfucker knew that these radiation waves are harmful and still push this product to make $1. That's showing you the carnality of this fucking demon. A base man. That's why I say in Job 9:24, the world is given to the hands of the wicked. Just like it tells you in the book of Daniel, when it says the world is given to the bases of man. You know what I mean? Esau is a base man. But continuing, it says, but it lost its potency in the 20th century when scientists discovered that the antibiotic streptomycin was effective against the infectious disease. When Christopher Davis learned that the Soviets were developing a genetically modified antibiotic-resistant strain of plague, he interpreted it to mean one thing: you choose plague because you're going to take out the other person's country. Davis said, kill all the people, move in, and take over the land. Full stop. That's what it's about. For months, Christopher Davis and an M16 or MI6 colleague, MI6 colleague, so that's British intelligence, spent with American intelligence counterparts. It said, for months, Christopher Davis and an MI6 colleague spent long hours debriefing Pasenchik. The information was then shared with American intelligence counterparts. In the first month alone, information about the Soviet biological weapons program, then able to piece together without him, have been able to piece together without him over a period of more than 25 years. The United States' vast network of advanced sensor technology had proved useless in detecting biological weapons. Bioweapons can be engineered inside laboratories, hidden in buildings, or underground. Unlike work on missiles, which require launch tests from proven ground that are easily observable from overhead satellites or aft crafts, biological weapons work can continue for decades undetected, and at BioPreparat it did. Despite hundreds of billions of dollars spent by the U.S. military intelligence agencies on high-tech reconnaissance and surveillance systems on the ground, in the air, in space, collecting signet, mesonet, osonet, geonet, and other forms of technology-based intelligence, a single human being had delivered so much that was unknown simply by opening his mouth. Pasenchik proved human intelligence. It says that the Soviets were working on super plague was shocking, but Lindenberg also learned that scientists at BioPreparat have been working to weaponize smallpox, which was duplicitous. In the late 1970s, the international health community, including doctors from the Soviet Union, had worked together on a worldwide effort to eradicate the killer virus. In 1980, the World Health Organization declared smallpox dead. that the Soviets would weaponize smallpox by the ton was particularly nefarious. And it's just funny that they talk about the World Health Organization is speaking on how, get ready for the CDC, I believe, said get ready for your world or your lives to be interrupted. Basically, roughly paraphrasing, they said basically you're ready for change though. Like what's coming is going to affect your daily life. Why you got the CDC saying that, but you got people believing Trump saying we got everything under control. But Trump said we working on that vaccine. Now the thing is you gonna take that vaccine. You know what I mean? So so I'm gonna stop there because at the end of the day, it's more in this, and I'm gonna do a series or more lessons on this. Lord willing, probably tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's the Passat, so maybe not tomorrow, but soon, Lord willing. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem, Chagadas Wakatam. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who told me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity. Shalom to the Akwap and Akim out there listening and learning. Shalom to the sincere Akim risking their lives. Lord willing, maybe we'll come with another video soon. Shalom, and a Bible ball.